coming up on Sports Paws. The Acrobatics and Tumbling team traveled cross-country for the final MAAC Championships. See how they did.
Plus, we're not at Sleeping Giant Golf Course for no reason. The Quinnipiac golf team traveled down to Florida, looking to repeat as MAAC champions.
And the Quinnipiac men's and women's tennis teams competed in the MAAC Championship. See which teams made it out on top.
All that and more coming up on Sports Paws starting right now.
None of you guys want to know how long it took me to make that putt. But welcome back into Studio 125 for one last Monday night episode of Sports Paws this year. My name is Anthony Rossi, joined alongside Brianna Trachtenberg for one final time on desk for Q30 Television.
Anthony, it has been quite the year for Quinnipiac sports, and the action didn't slow down this week, with multiple teams competing in championship tournaments this past weekend. The Acrobatics and Tumbling team flew across the country to compete in the final NCAA Championships. The Bobcats started off in the quarterfinals against a familiar foe, the Iona Gales. The Bobcats and Gales faced off earlier this season, where Quinnipiac took home the win by almost 10 points. The meet was tight for the first three events, with both teams tying in the pyramid event. Quinnipiac's performance was highlighted by Catherine Carter's 9.9 and the 6-element pass in the tumbling event. The Bobcats defeated the Gales 258.9 to 245.805.
And after the win against the Gales, the Bobcats would take on the Oregon Ducks, looking for revenge for their earlier loss this season. And that loss to the Ducks was by over 5 points. To start, there was a very close compulsory event between the two teams, but we will start in the Acro event. It's Oregon with a gorgeous inversion down into a split. This one would get them a 9.55, and the Ducks would outscore the Bobcats by almost 2.5 points in the event. Now, to the pyramid in the inversion heat. As the name suggests, Oregon with another one, this time with three athletes stacked on top of each other. This heat scores a 9.575. The Ducks still hold their big lead. Moving over to the open toss heat, Quinnipiac's Julia Tourneys flies into the stratosphere with a double twist, earning a 9.575. In the tumbling event, it's Morgan Willingham for the Ducks in aerial tumbling, 1.5 step out into a fold. That would score a 9.775. And in the 6-element for Quinnipiac, it is Catherine Carter. 3 whips, back handspring into a 1.5 layout. That would score a 9.9. Oregon's lead is 9/10 going into the team event, but that moment right there is when Quinnipiac heard that their team score was higher, 87.24 for Quinnipiac, swinging the meet in their favor. The Bobcats, they take the meet by almost 4 points, and for the first time in 8 years, Quinnipiac will advance to the NCAA Finals to compete for a national championship.
It was quite the performance for the Bobcats as they head into the final NCAA Finals on Saturday and take on the Baylor Bears. Starting in the compulsory Acro heat, senior Catherine Carter and graduate Genesis Carson staying in sync with precise form in the handstands to start the meet off with a 9.425. Then Baylor matching the Bobcats in the straddle holds in the pyramid heat to give the Bears a 9.75. Baylor leading by only 0.2 of a point after compulsory. Heading into the Acro heat, Baylor first-year base Mo Arthur showcasing amazing strength as she balances sophomore Michaela Vasquez while moving into a split. Into the pyramid heat, sophomore Julia Teresi staying steady and has clean form in the pike hold to earn a 9.975. Baylor is continuing to lead though after this event. In the toss heat, senior Catherine Coker with a high-flying double twist scoring a 9.7. Into tumbling we go. Baylor junior Peyton Washington with a punch front tuck, round off handspring, 1.5 round off full, proving why she's one of the best in the country to do it. For the 11th consecutive year, however, Baylor ends up winning the NCAA National Championship with a final score of 271.835 to Quinnipiac's 266.265.
Though the Bobcats didn't come home with the team national championship, there were some bright spots in the individual events. Quinnipiac ties its program record for most individual titles in a single meet with 4, highlighted by senior Catherine Carter's 6-element tumble, where she earned a 9.975. There were other titles that they brought home in the open pyramid, the 450 salto toss, and the duo toss, securing two of the three toss titles up for grabs.
Following Quinnipiac's impressive season, 3 Bobcats were named to the All-American teams. Gabby Pierce and Ashley Dugan were named to the first team All-American, and Madison Bradley was named to the second team All-American as well. In addition to the All-American awards, head coach Marion Powers, along with Baylor head coach Felicia Mulkey and former Fairmont State head coach Christy Kiefer, were honored with the inaugural Founders Award. The Founders Award will be given yearly for someone who encourages the growth of Acro, with this year's award going to 3 of the founding coaches.
From the mats now to the links, the Quinnipiac golf team flew to Lake Buena Vista, Florida, looking to repeat as MAAC champions. And they did just that, winning the program's 7th conference championship all time, and now they have won 5 of the last 6. They totaled a combined score of 888, or 24 over par. Sophomore Sophia Fujita capped off another great season, taking home the McLeod Trophy for the 2nd consecutive season, becoming the first golfer to do so since 2008-2009. She also broke the record for the best 3-round total score at the MAAC Championships, carding a total of 212, or 4 under par. 5 better than she scored at last year's MAAC Championship.
Now let's head on over to the tennis courts, where the women's tennis team took home some hardware after another undefeated season. Isabella Baker was selected to first-team singles after she went 7-1 this regular season. Caitlin Flower and Vera Saccharino were also named to the second-team singles, with Flower going 6-2 and Saccharino going undefeated in singles play. Flower and her doubles partner Willow Renton were named to the first-team doubles as the pair picked up 7 wins this season. Caroline Scholson and Isabella Chicago were named to second-team doubles as well.
And some individual hardware was earned as well, as the teams swept the 2 major awards for the 2nd straight season. Sophomore Willow Renton was named as the MAAC Player of the Year after going undefeated in both #1 singles and doubles with a total MAAC record of 15-0. Head coach Paula Miller is the MAAC Coach of the Year for the 9th time in her career, as she has led Quinnipiac to 73 MAAC wins at the helm, and the program has only lost 2 matches during her tenure.
After finishing MAAC play undefeated for the 2nd season in a row, the Bobcats began the journey to their 9th MAAC championship title, Chagano clinching a point as well. Scholson clinched the match with straight set wins in singles, sending Quinnipiac to their 12th MAAC championship since the 2013-14 season.
A big accomplishment for those Bobcats, and they are looking to go back-to-back as they take on the Mount St. Mary's Mountaineers. 2 teams fighting for a title, and that would be the MAAC Women's Tennis Championship. The Mountaineers looking for their first title in program history, and the Bobcats have their sights on going back-to-back. Vera Saccharino and Anaga Shankar in the 2nd double spot. Look at Saccharino in the front court. Hits the backhand right here, forehand crashing the net. They take that 6-3.
And on to second doubles on center court. Willow Renton and Caitlin Flower trying to clinch the point, and the opposing shot goes long. They win the match 6-4 and take the doubles point. Quinnipiac leads 1-0 early in Princeton.
To singles now. We'll go to court 6. Vera Saccharino starts out well, hitting that one in the perfect spot in set 1. We'll come back to her later.
Court 4, Anaga Shankar looking to make it 2-0. She won the first set 6-4. This shot hits the net and takes the match 2-0 Quinnipiac.
To court 3 now, Isabella Baker will make it 3 points for Quinnipiac as she wins in straight sets. Bobcats 1 point away from going back-to-back, and here comes Saccharino. It all comes down to this. Let's take a listen as she is able to win it for her team.
And the Bobcats do it. Saccharino strikes. The senior wins the 2026 MAAC Championship for the Bobcats. Not only does she win, she also stamps the logo of Quinnipiac on the bracket. Quinnipiac 4, Mount 0. A sweep sends them to the NCAA tournament.
And after securing the MAAC Championship win, the Bobcats found out their fate in the NCAA selection show earlier today. Quinnipiac will be headed to the heart of the Aggie land in College Station, Texas, taking on the host of the regional, the Texas A&M Aggies. The 2 teams met last year where the Aggies swept the Bobcats 4-0, and Quinnipiac is looking to avoid a 3rd straight sweep in program history against Texas A&M.
It will definitely be a great match and plenty of playoff action left, Anthony, but it isn't over yet. When Sports Paws returns, we'll take a look at how this men's tennis team fared in their quest for back-to-back MAAC championships, taking on Ryder in the semi-final round.
Speaking of playoffs, the women's lacrosse team traveled up to Buffalo as they took on the Canisius Golden Griffins in the first round of the MAAC tournament. Don't go anywhere. We'll be right back.
I don't remember how it started.
Go to that.
Oh boy.
Our back and forth. It always came back.
Dad!
You probably don't remember what you told me,
That was perfect.
but I heard every word.
We're debating Quinnipiac sports.
That's all flash, no catch. She didn't net it in the back of the net. That's not even a goal.
What are you doing pulling out rhymes?
Pretty. That's like a crossover with a missed layup.
Bobcat Breakdown is the place for you, with debate, analysis, and so much more.
Mate Marinov. He is good, but oh man, is he bad. And let's
That team is amazing. How do you not put Fairfield women's volley?
Tune in to Bobcat Breakdown every Tuesday night at 9:30 p.m. on Q30TV.com/watch.
Life's daily battles are not meant to be fought alone.
We're not powerless, so long as we don't lose sight of what's important.
Don't be afraid to seize that moment to talk to your friends.
Cloud, you okay?
Because checking in on a friend can create a safe space.
The first step on our new journey. You coming?
Reach out to a friend about their mental health. Seize the awkward. It's totally worth it.
Welcome back to Sports Paws. Thanks for sticking with us. The MAAC released their all-MAAC men's tennis teams on Friday, and 5 Bobcats have earned all-conference nods. Junior Carlos Broncimo was named to the all-MAAC first team for singles and second team for doubles, with his partner Alessandro Sciacca. Joining them on the second team was the pair of Shanad Nayarati and Vishal Prakash in the number 3 double spot. The last honoree was Elias Hoksha, who was named to the all-MAAC third team for singles.
The team then began their hopes of a MAAC Championship repeat on Saturday with a semifinals matchup against Ryder. The Bobcats started off strong after they secured a doubles points with wins from duo Carlos Broncimo and Alessandro Sciacca at the top spot, and Finn Burge and Elias Hoksha getting the tiebreaker. The Bobcats couldn't find the same success in singles, however, as Burge was the only Bobcat to win a singles match. Ryder took 5 singles match wins to move past the Bobcats and face off against Marist in the MAAC Championship.
And with the loss, 2 key players on the Bobcats, their careers are now over. Q30 Spencer Decker has the story on how their impact will be felt for years to come.
The road always ends somewhere, and for the Bobcats, it ends in Princeton, New Jersey, falling 4-2 to Ryder in the MAAC semifinals. And the loss hurts a lot for the Bobcat players, but especially Carlos Broncimo and Shanad Nayarati, who have played their last matches as a Quinnipiac Bobcat.
I mean, it's like hard to put it in words. I have to tell these guys not to go to the gym. You know, like they are so focused on getting better at tennis. And if we're going to come back and win it next year, I want the guys that are returning to walk the walk and do what they do. And Carlos and Shanad do it. They do it every day. And so we need to keep doing it.
The Bobcats put their best foot forward, which meant when it came time to go to the locker room, it was more emotional than expected.
That locker room talk was very difficult. There was a lot of emotions there. And the reason is because of the work ethic and the heart and soul that these guys put into all 4 years here at Quinnipiac, 3 years for Carlos. He's not going to be with us next year, and he had a hard time talking in there. He gave us so much of his energy when it comes to an end like that. I told them that we got to keep the culture, putting everything that we have into it, and that's all we can do.
You can learn a lot from winning, but also a lot from losing. And after an undefeated season last year, the Bobcats and Brian Adinolfi believe they could use this as a motivational factor for next season.
You know, some of these guys, last year we went undefeated in the conference. They're not used to losing. This is a tough day. They have to use that feeling as motivation to just start working towards the goal, which is to win it next year.
Up-and-coming seniors like Finn Burge will now take on the task of getting the Bobcats back to the MAAC Championship. Reporting for Q30 Sports, I'm Spencer Decker.
Thanks, Spencer. Continuing the spring sports fun, 5 women's lacrosse players earned all-MAAC team selections. Kate Bandowski and Emma Miller-Ayala were picked to the all-MAAC first team. Bandowski broke the program's single-season point record with 74, and she is second in the conference in assists with 46. Mila Ayala recorded a point in every game but one, leading her to 43 points so far this season. Mia Delman finished her senior career earning a spot on the All-MAAC second team, also becoming the third Bobcat ever to post at least a 40-goal season twice in their Quinnipiac career. First-year Julia Givens also joined her after earning 38 goals, finishing second on the team. Bree Provenzano was also selected to the All-MAAC rookie team after earning Rookie of the Week 3 times on her way to an impressive first season in Hamden.
The All-MAAC honorees and the rest of the Bobcats then traveled up to Buffalo, New York on Sunday to kick off their 2026 MAAC playoff run. And they'd be taking on the Canisius Golden Griffins, looking to advance in the MAAC tournament for the second straight season. Under a minute into the game, sophomore Emma Miller Ayala drives to the net, draws the foul, and still pots the ball into the back of the net. It's 1-0 Bobcats early. A minute later, Peyton Choma on the free position will put that one in. Quinnipiac off and running early. A little later, it's Choma behind the net. She'll connect with Bree Provenzano in front, and she'll one-time the ball into the net. The All-MAAC rookie team selection is on the board, and it's up to 3 for the Bobcats. In the second quarter, Bobcats' lead is down to 1, but Anna Givens is there, scoring 5-hole on a free position rocket. Lead back up to 2, and a minute later, her sister Julia. Nice face dodge from her, and she'll fire the ball into the top corner. Quinnipiac's lead back to 3. Bobcats would end the first half, scoring 4 unanswered goals, capped off by Kate Bandowski's goal from the same spot. In the third quarter we go. Canisius looking to make a comeback. Ashton DeHandward dekes around her defender and puts it past Shannon Alden. Lead is down to 2. Under a minute left in the third, Maggie Tift from the free position will score past Alden. Lead now 1. Into the final 15, Anna Givens tough angle shot, and she gets it to go. Bobcats back up by 2. Another free position for Quinnipiac, and it's senior Mia Delmon. She'll score there and cap off the day for the Cats. They'll hold on to win 13-11, and the Bobcats move on to the MAAC semifinals on Friday, and they will look for their first MAAC championship appearance in program history.
After Quinnipiac's road playoff win, let's take a look to see where they sit in the playoff bracket. Quinnipiac will travel down the Merritt Parkway to Fairfield to take on the number 1 Stags for the second time this season. In their last outing, Quinnipiac lost to Fairfield 17-13. The Bobcats will look to get one back against the Stags. The number 2 Niagara Purple Eagles will face the number 5 Siena Saints in the other semifinals matchup. The winners from each game will compete for the championship win on Sunday, May 3rd. Taking a look at the men's side of the tournament, the Bobcats battled the Merrimack Warriors in the quarterfinal round. Opening round of the MAAC Men's Lacrosse Playoff Championships with number 4 seed Merrimack taking on visiting number 5 Quinnipiac. Opening minutes, Finn Doherty cuts to the net on the outside and fires one in. Merrimack's up 3-0 a minute later. Nate Watson from behind the cage finds Justin Robert in front, who scores. 3 minutes later, Watson and Robert connect once again. This time Robert on the back door. In the second quarter, Rob Tower finds Colin Kruger at the back post. It's 8-5 Merrimack. 40 seconds left in the half. Bobcats get fortunate as the shot from Nate Watson winds up loose, and Merrimack puts it in their own net. It's tied at 9 going into the half. Justin Robert stutters step around his defender, finds the shot lane, and rips a beautiful bounce shot into the cage. 10-9 Quinnipiac. Kaman Giacone now gets fortunate, picking up a ground ball right in front of the net and finish the job scoring. It's 12-10 Merrimack heading into the fourth quarter. Colin Kruger cuts to the front of the net uncontested and scores on the back post, receiving the pass from Casey Herold. Merrimack wins it 14-12. The Warriors defeat the Bobcats after a back-and-forth battle and will play the Siena Saints in the MAAC semifinals on Thursday.
Unfortunate for men's lacrosse, but shifting the focus over to the softball diamond, Brianna Quinnipiac softball has had a solid job in MAAC play. 13-9 conference record prior to this weekend's games.
You're right, Anthony, and there has been one Bobcat who has been tearing it up for Quinnipiac. Q30's Olivia Gruber sat down with senior catcher Kennedy DeMont for this month's Athlete of the Month interview.
Thanks, guys. I'm here with Q30's Athlete of the Month, Kennedy DeMont. Kennedy, how are you doing today?
I'm doing well. Thank you for having me.
Yeah, thank you for coming. My first question for you is, when you were going through the recruiting process, who or what convinced you to come to Quinnipiac?
Yeah, so I am wanting to become a special education teacher, and to do that, I am having to get my master's. And here at Quinnipiac, there is a 4+1 program, so I'm able to get my master's in 5 years, where most of the time it's 6. So that was kind of like, it interested me right off the bat, and then talking to Coach Hill, you know, she was very opening, had her arms open. Like, I'm from across the country, so I was a little skeptical of trying to come all the way to Connecticut. Came on a visit and absolutely loved it. I mean, just by the look of it, you can tell, like, this is an amazing campus. And then the girls that I met on my visit were amazing. And then I actually ended up coming here with Sophia Vega, and we were teammates in travel ball. So it was kind of nice. We weren't that close then, but now we're super close. So it was nice knowing somebody.
Yeah. So you've been here all 4 years so far and currently a captain right now. What have you seen from yourself as a player to, you know, help the team grow and where it is today?
Yeah, so come freshman year, my role was a lot different than it is right now. I was getting the pitchers ready in games, being the loudest one on the bench, and I knew that was my role, and I bought into that. And I think the development I've been able to create as a player has been really strong, and I've worked with Coach Hill with that. I've worked with now Coach Zen with that. And it's come from like hitting and my leadership aspect of like I'm able to know who I am. And it comes a lot from my voice. I will say like I'm a very loud person on the field, but I also think like I'm very calm. Like I know how to collect myself and collect the rest of my teammates. So I think just knowing that that was my role then versus now, I think there was just a big development throughout the years.
Yeah. So talking about the offensive side of yourself, bringing team in home runs with 5, how do you go approach in each play? Make each step?
Yeah, so for me, I try not to think, let's hit a home run, let's hit a triple, let's hit a double. I mean, I don't have any triples, but for that case. And I think of if I don't have it, the next person does. So it makes me really calm at the plate and knowing like all I need to do is hit this ball. Like at the end of the day, that's what I'm doing. And just focusing on the little things. And like I have my little trigger words on my at bat, so I keep it simple. And I think like if I'm able to identify that pitch is coming, like I know I'm able to hit it. And I'm just really exciting, like rounding the bases and seeing my teammates at home. So it's like just an energy boost every time.
Well, that is all the time we have for Q30's Athlete of the Month for this month. Kennedy, thank you for coming and being here. And coming up on Sports Paws, we'll take a look at the softball team's performance this weekend and the top 10 plays of the year. Stay tuned. Sports Paws, we'll be right back.
I don't remember how it started.
Go to that.
Our back and forth. It always came back.
Dad!
You probably don't remember what you told me,
That was perfect.
but I heard every word.
The go-to Quinnipiac news source for students by students. We've got the latest on campus news, student life, and stories all around the country. Get to know your local community with features on Hamden businesses and politics. Everything you need to know, all in 30 minutes. Wednesdays at 9:30, reporting for the Quinnipiac community.
I'm Melissa Sheehan. I'm Sophia DeBona.
I'm Maury Smith.
I'm Christina Semanis. I'm Riley Farrell.
I'm Andrew Allison.
I'm Miranda Patorti.
We are the Q30 Newscast.
As a dad, every day is a challenge. To make sure that the time that I spend with them, it doesn't matter how tired you are, you have to try and to teach them. When they learn something new and you can just see in their faces, it's such an incredible moment. It's those moments that are my favorite.
For one final time this year, welcome back to the show, and if you're just joining us, I'm Anthony Rossi, alongside Brianna Trachtenberg. Continuing the softball talk, the team traveled down to Maryland looking to bounce back after a 3-game sweep against Marist. And the Bobcats did so in Game 1 against Mount St. Mary's, taking them down 6-3. Riley Potter and Kennedy DeMott had multi-hit performances in the win, combining for 4 RBIs on the day. Shannon Kendall was great on the mound, throwing 6 scoreless innings for the Cats, tacking on a strikeout in the process, only walking 1 batter.
The Bobcats then had a doubleheader on Sunday against the MAAC. Quinnipiac picked up Game 1 5-1 after they came back in the second inning when Kinsley Cox reached on a 2-out single to help load the bases. Aaron Bombari drew a walk to bring home Mac Davis and tie the game. Quinnipiac took the lead after a Mount error and never looked back. The Bobcats, however, dropped the second game after Mount St. Mary's walked it off with a single to take the series finale. Now, the women's track and field team hit the road running this past weekend as they competed in the Penn Relays. Q30's Andrew Goodness has the recap on Quinnipiac's top performers.
Thanks, Brianna. This past weekend, half of the Quinnipiac outdoor track and field team took a trip to downtown Philadelphia to compete in the 3-day Penn Relays. There wasn't much action for Quinnipiac on Thursday, but on Friday, the Bobcats had their best day at the meet, thanks in large part to the efforts of Naisha Daly. The senior sprinter's 11.54 second time in the 100-meter qualifier race set a new program and MAAC record. She would also lead off the 4x100 relay qualifier, joined by Kira Baxter, Michelle Toda, and Izzy Anzaldo. That relay would also set a new MAAC record at 43.07 seconds. To cap off the day, Quinnipiac's sprint medley relay set a new program record by 3 seconds. After an electric Friday, the Bobcats came up just short on Saturday. Quinnipiac had qualified for 3 finals events and finished second in all 3. The 4x100 relay came in at 47.30, less than half a second behind LaSalle, who won the event. The 4x400 was also less than half a second behind first place, taking second to Bryant University. And despite her records on Friday, Naisha Daly's 11.91 time in the 100-meter on Saturday would not be enough. This weekend, the Bobcats will head up to Boston to compete at a meet at Northeastern University. That will be their last meet before the MAAC Championships. From the Quinnipiac Recreation and Wellness Center, I'm Andrew Goodness, and that's all I have for outdoor track and field. Back to you guys at the desk.
Thanks, Andrew. Back to the diamond as we go to Quinnipiac baseball, and they took on Mount St. Mary's this weekend, looking to extend its 4-game winning streak. They were unable to do so in Game 1, and that went to the Mountaineers in blowout fashion, 11-1. The Bobcats left 8 ducks on the pond, aka runners on base, in the game, and struck out 9 times to 3 Mountaineer pitchers. Every Bobcat pitcher that entered the game was credited with 2 earned runs in the loss for the Bobcats, a tough showing from them.
Quinnipiac is looking for a comeback in Game 2. They got started early as Chase Kamak opened, scoring with an RBI single to drive in Alex Irizarry for the game's first run. James Marino added 2 more on for the Bobcats to make a 3-0 game in the third. Mount St. Mary's Sam Meyer hit a solo home run to tie the game in the 8th inning. It took 10 innings for Quinnipiac's Peyton Vancas to deliver an RBI single to walk it off for the Bobcats.
And the team continued their winning ways on Sunday, taking down the Mount 3-2. James Marino's home run robbery at the wall was the highlight of the win for the Cats. Chase Kamak recorded his 7th multi-hit game of the season, and Quinnipiac received great pitching performances from Jake Balcom, Jacob Bilecki, and shutting the door in the 9th was J.C. Frankenair, needing only 1 pitch to retire the side.
While it may be spring, it's never too early to announce next season's winter captains. The men's ice hockey team announced that Mason Marcellus will serve as the captain for the 2026-27 season. Marcellus being promoted from his assistant captain role this past season. The rising senior forward finished the season with 34 points, helping lead the Bobcats to their 6th consecutive Clearly Cup. He is the 6th Bobcat in the Division I era to go from assistant captain to captain, joining the likes of former national championship captain Zach Metza. Now, you know that national championship win was a lot of fun our freshman year, Anthony. Let's take a trip down memory lane. What was your top 10 memories from college?
You know, Brianna, one that sticks out is just being on the Sports Paws staff the last 3 years. Talking about every memory, though, that would take too long. Something I am sure of, though, is the top 10 plays from this year.
Top play number 10 on the pitch, Captain Alex Miller rings the ball right off the post and into the back of the net.
Play 9 to the Penn Relays. Senior Naisha Daly moving faster than any woman has in MAAC history. She got first place running 11.91 seconds.
To Burkon for play 8, Domla Ganesh only needs 1 hand to set the ball to her twin Yammer as the Turks connect on the kill.
Back to the pitch for play 7, first game of the season for women's soccer. Madison Alves' crazy acrobatic move, potting the ball into the bottom corner of the net.
Hitting the hardwood for play 6, and it is literal. Ella Ryan snatches her defender's ankles and swishes the 3 ball, one of many highlights from the first year this season.
To the diamond for play 5, the ball is crushed into deep left field, but King James Marino leaps up and robs the home run, almost clearing the yard. What a snag from the senior.
flipping into play number 4, Catherine Carter searching for a natty, and she secures it with this pass in the 6th element tumbling heat, scoring a 9.975.
To the ice for play 3. First year connection from Matthew Lansing and Ethan Wittenbach. Wittenbach showing up the mitts, goes backhand, forehand, and tickles the twine with the goal.
Back at Lender Court for play 2, Amari Monroe kicks it out to Grant Randall, and he drills the 3 ball, beating out the clock to secure the win for the Cats.
And what else could be play 1? Emerson Jarvis goes through one, then another, and then through the 5-hole of Jill Hurdle. Insane goal from the assistant captain. Watch this, she goes whoop, and then whoop again. What a goal from Emerson Jarvis. And the Bobcats, they had a great season, but we've also had a great season, and before we say our goodbyes to Q30, we want to take a moment to recognize a tradition that we brought back for the second go-around this year. Right as the show goes off air every night, we would ask the talent to sign their favorite shot sheet from that show. Once again, I've gathered every single shot sheet from this year. I know it's a lot, missing just a couple, but it just shows how much passion people put into this show. At the end of the day, the show is so much bigger than just us as desk talent or executive producers for this year. So to keep the tradition rolling, before we sign off, literally, let's go ahead and sign a shot sheet.
Let's go.
What a year. What
Last
an
shot
absolute
sheets
year.
of our career, Infinite.
Proof. Well, that will do that, and now it is time for our senior goodbyes. For those that know me, I love to quote things, and before anything else is said, I have to start with one that holds near and dear to my heart. As my grandpa's favorite artist, Andrea Bocelli, says, it's time to say goodbye. My time here in student media has been anything but easy, and people have doubted me my entire life, dating back to even high school. But no matter what, though doubt always crept in and tried to make me give up, I never did. My freshman year, I beat reported on the women's ice hockey team, and the amazing experiences I got showed me what was possible, but I wanted more. So I set expectations and goals for myself, big ones at that. I applied to be an associate producer for Sports Paws, a social media manager for QBSN, and beat reporting roles for all 3 sports seasons. And somehow, I earned every single one. And I'm not saying this just to brag. I'm saying it because the goals that I set for myself felt impossible, and I'm proud that I was able to get there and achieve them. But no journey is ever perfect. Sophomore year and part of junior year, I wasn't the person I wanted to be. I didn't always treat people the way that they deserved, and that's something that I have had to bear for the last couple of years. I can't change those moments, and everything came crashing down on me, and it broke me. Over winter break of my junior year, I told my parents I was thinking about walking away and quitting student media, leaving behind the dream that I had since coming to Quinnipiac. But after long conversations and tons of support, the spark that was lost finally came back. And from that moment on, everything felt different. The people around me, the ones I thought didn't like me, actually did, and they believed in me, and they saw the work that I was putting in, and they stuck with me through hard times. Now, through 2 years as an executive producer for Sports Paws, 3 years social media managing for QBSN, and 4 years of beat reporting, and more women's ice hockey games than I think anyone has covered in student media history, I can truly say that I would never regret a moment of it all. Every long night, every early morning, every moment of doubt, it was all worth it. Before I sign off, I want to say thank you to those that are close to me. My current and former roommates, you guys are awesome. Thank you for always being there, even when I just need to vent about something random. To student media alumni, thank you for continuing to support me even after your time here has passed. And to everyone in Q30 and QBSN, there are way too many names to name, but every single one of you has had an impact on me, and I'll be grateful for that. But most importantly, my family. To my Nana and Grandpa, thank you for watching and listening to about everything that I've ever done. And Grandpa, I hope you liked the Andrea Bocelli reference earlier. To my brother Michael, even though I know you're so busy with hockey, you always find time to support me, and that means more than you'll ever know. Now for my mom and my dad. Both of you have always been there for me and have seen me grow since reciting the starting lineups for the Boston Bruins and Red Sox when I was younger. When I would just talk over games for the fun of it because I thought it was cool at the time. Who knew that this was going to be the career that I would eventually choose when I went to college? Thank you both for keeping me going and for being a shoulder to cry on when I need it. I love you all, and I hope that I've made you proud. For my words of wisdom, to those that are continuing in student media, keep going. Doubt will always be there, and so will support and love from others. Time should be given to things that you are passionate about, and I know that a boatload of happiness will follow. Everyone deserves it. Well, I guess it's officially that time. Thank you for being a part of the 4 years that I have been here. And so for one final time, reporting and anchoring for Q30 Sports, I'm Anthony Rossi. So long, Q30. I'll miss the station, the memories, and most of all, the people.
Thank you, Anthony. 4 years ago, it was the end of freshman year, and my parents were moving me out of school. As we were driving away from campus, I was looking out the window, and I said that I was going to miss Quinnipiac. My mom said to me that I have 3 more years, and I'm only going to be gone for a couple of months. I blinked, and now here I am with less than 2 weeks of school left before graduation day, still not ready to say goodbye. I was never someone who liked change, so much so that I cried and begged my parents not to send me to kindergarten, because I didn't want to go. While I was excited to go to Quinnipiac, I knew it was about to be a big change in my life. I was nervous and scared, but was ready for the opportunities that these next 4 years would bring. And to be honest, I never even saw myself stepping foot on air. When I started at Quinnipiac, I only ever wanted to write, and I actually planned on only joining Chronicle and QBSN. It was after I made a deal with one of my now closest friends, Brittany Brown-Lieben, that I would go to Q30 shows if she went to Chronicle meetings with me. Eventually, I ended up enjoying Q30 more, and now here we are 4 years later. Choosing to join Q30 was one of the best decisions I've made in my 4 years. Q30 has become my home and a place that has given me so many opportunities. The biggest piece of advice that I was given heading into college was to say yes to everything. Saying yes has been the model that I've lived by throughout these last 4 years. On the work side of things, I've gone into beat report 4 different teams with Acro, volleyball, rugby, and men's ice hockey, covered almost every sport on campus for Q30 and QBSN, gone to Fenway Park for Frozen Fenway, traveled across the Northeast, and somehow made it to West Virginia, produced as an AP and EP for Sports Paws, and served as president of this very station. On top of that, saying yes got me out of my comfort zone before college. I was quiet and mostly stuck to myself. These organizations have changed me, though, for the better, and I will forever be grateful. While I don't know if I would call myself an extrovert, I am definitely more outgoing now than I ever was, and it was all because I said yes to the opportunities that scared me and pushed me. And yet, while all those things are all great, it hasn't been the part that I've enjoyed the most. Q30 and student media as a whole has become my second family. It's easy to feel intimidated as a first year when you walk into a room full of people that seem to know what they're doing. While there were a lot of nerves, the upperclassmen in Q30 took me in and created a place where I felt included. It gave me a group of friends I could rely on no matter what, and college truly is what you make of it. And as I walk out the door, I can say that I have no regrets with everything that has happened during my time. Despite the ups and downs, there isn't a single thing I would change. I couldn't have done any of this, though, without my parents. Thank you, Mom and Dad, for giving me advice and always supporting me. I hope you've enjoyed watching all of the Q30 shows and pieces of content throughout the years. Whether we've worked together on a staff, known each other for a semester, or have been friends since freshman year, thank you. Everyone here has made my time so hard to walk away from. So I guess my final piece of advice is to not only say yes, but enjoy it. Say yes to the opportunities, say yes to the crazy ideas, and say yes to the things you aren't quite comfortable with yet. But don't forget to also take a second to breathe it all in. This time will only come once in your life, and it's important to not let it fly by you. Before you know it, you'll be walking across the stage on graduation day wondering where the time went. Thank you, Q30, for everything.